Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch on a breezy, beautiful Saturday morning here. Sorry for the wind. Hey, I wanted to today we're actually going to be having a pretty warm day. Heat index they're saying is going to be about 109, so it sounds like the humidity is supposed to really ramp up this afternoon. We did get some rain this morning, which I always love it when you get a shower in July and August. Didn't get much rain, and you can see we got the cloud cover here. But we let the cattle into a fairly big area here, trying to give them just by a 2-day or 3-day paddock, just given the temperatures over the next 3 or 4 days. So we did give them access to the pond down there. Ran our hot wire about a foot into the pond, so a little bit of the drink from that. We have been hauling water to the cattle just so that we can graze certain parts of this pasture really effectively. And you know, if you had to haul water, it's awful. So you know, as the herd's grown, it's gotten a little more intense, and the herd's going to be growing again here in about 2 weeks pretty substantially, so I'm looking forward to giving you more details on that. But the home of the Kansas South Pole will be complete after this next bump. Now we're going to be on to focus on the business of ranching and producing beef and selling seed stock. So after 2 years of grinding and pushing and trying to grow the herd, we're on the verge of just being able to focus on the business side of it, not constantly growing. So we just moved into this tall grass. You can hear some of the calves bawling. We've had a slew of calves the last week. We've had 3 or 4 calves, so that's exciting. Everyone's healthy so far. We've got a couple other heavy springers that will be calving here probably in the next day. Little concerned about the heat with that, but they should be okay. Shouldn't be an issue at all. So we're going to be watching that. But we've been grazing small paddocks. Let me just show you what we're doing. We're laying a lot of this stuff down. They've eaten quite a bit, but we're still leaving the soil covered. We're coming out of part of this pasture that is extremely weedy. We just have tons of these weeds. I'm not sure exactly what these are, but they've got these little seedlings, I think, that attach to your clothes. It's really annoying. But this part of the pasture is, and I'm assuming this is probably happens from overgrazing or continuous grazing when this has been conventionally grazed for a lot of years. Not sure what this is, but we're just trying to trample it to give the grass a chance to grow up. These weeds obviously grow a lot taller and a lot faster than the grass does. I mean, you can look out here before this is grazed and you're like, wow, everything's 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. And you get in here and you're like, wow, there's just a lot of weeds. So I'm happy with what the cattle have been doing. Good manure distribution. Kind of surprised to see some of these manure pats are stacked up a little bit, but because there is ample forage out here, ample grass. But this is what we're doing, just trying to improve this pasture, hit it good, and then leave it, let it rest for quite a while. So I'm gonna hit pause on the video and we're gonna run over to maybe a couple weeks back, see how the grass is recovering on where we grazed. This is where I was wanting to get back to. This is a place that we'd actually left the cattle for just a couple days during a real hot spell. We don't have a ton of big trees in this pasture. I don't like letting the South Pole just bake out here in the open pasture, although it does help that the grass is pretty tall. But we do have some trees out here that are, in a couple years, they might be really good for shade, but this was the best tree they had in the paddock, and they just absolutely crushed it. I mean, this was all laid down and actually bare soil, and I was a little concerned if we'd overdone it. Oh, before I tell you about that, see all this Cerisa lesbideza we've been spraying, spot spraying as we're going through the pasture, trying to get a handle on that. So really happy with what we've been able to get accomplished with that. You're not going to fix everything in 1 year, but you just got to keep banging that drum. So, but look at this regrowth. This was bare, this was knocked down, this was abused. I was concerned, but we've just got, look at the grass coming through. Really happy with the rest. Now it does help that we have received some little cooler temperatures. We have gotten some moisture. It's not like we've been, 30 or 40 days of straight 100-degree temperatures, but this got crushed pretty good, and now we're seeing lots of regrowth on the grass. So hoping not to graze this until probably, let's see here at we're August 24th, I believe. We're not going to be back here for several months. We still have quite a bit of pasture out in front of us we need to go graze. But as you look out here, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, there's lots of the tall weeds. We did try to knock that down. Probably will have the herd, once the herd grows, we'll probably come back through these heavy weed areas one more time just to try to really crush this stuff and knock it down and lay it down. But the Kansas prairie is responding to an intense graze, and now we're letting it rest. So I'm pretty excited about, I'm pretty excited to watch to see how the grasses respond from giving this long rest periods, hitting it hard, and then coming back, especially in these areas that are real weedy. There's actually a creek that runs through the property right up here. And on the other side of this creek, right over there, I was driving through the other day with the ATV, just kind of looking for some future paddocks, and really shocked just how tall and how dense the weeds are. So there's probably not going to be much grazing in there. Maybe they'll eat the weeds, maybe they won't, but we definitely need to lay it all down to give the prairie a chance to grow back, just so it's not getting shaded out. So, but it's been a long 2 years of slowly growing. It's been an exciting year this year, really finally starting to have a good number of calves. We're going heading into fall calving. We're starting a little early here, but last year I bought some either shortbred or older open animals, and I put them in with Comanche immediately. I wanted to try to get them bred. When you buy older animals, 12 years old, you just don't know if they're going to be in good shape, not good shape. And they're South Poles, and they're good looking animals, but they are older, and you never know if you're going to lose one the next year, so you take a little bit of a gamble on that. But so far, like I've talked about in recent videos, we've had a couple that we've lost, but due to illness. But overall, real happy with the calf crop. We're getting a lot of heifers, which is great, especially with these older mamas. They are replacing themselves in the herd, and hopefully we can kind of get ahead going forward once those heifers hit breeding age. So not sure how much the wind this is going to be picking up on the camera, but just want to show you what things are looking like from a couple weeks back. Real happy with the growth here. So one thing I've been thinking about with the channel and where we're going with it, the last 2 years, 27 months since April of 2022 when I started, has just been about documenting the journey. And now, I mentioned on our last video, it's now time to go into the business of ranching. And our business is going to be twofold. It's going to be selling seed stock and really creating a farm-to-table business where we have our sheep flock, which we will be offering lamb, doing pasture raised broilers, so we'll have chicken, and then obviously beef. We want beef to be the staple of our farm to table. So taking in 3 steers in October, got another steer that will be going in the spring, and hopefully here within 14-15 months we will be with the size of the herd and the production, we will be able to be fully stocked with cuts or our quarters and half packages or whole animals for meat consumption all the time. So that's one thing that as I've gotten into this, it's been a little eye-opening, is that how much you have to produce in order to be fully stocked all the time. But it's been 2 years. But for those of you guys out there that sometimes it's easy to get discouraged a little bit with how long things take. Sometimes it's like an iceberg. What people see out of the water is only a small portion of what's gone into it. There's so much more ice underneath the surface of the water on an iceberg than what comes out of the water, and that's a lot of how businesses are, or ventures. It just takes a lot of grinding and a lot of effort to get things to where you want them to be. So by way of encouragement, if you're in a stage of life where you feel like you're not making as much progress, keep grinding, because things do turn around. So, but the regrowth is really happy with that. So if you follow the YouTube channel, great. I'd love to have you come along for the ride. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. Follow us on Facebook at Carter James Ranch, and always check out us on our website at carterjamesranch.com. Thanks for coming along today. God bless. Have a good day. Catch you in the next video.